Hi, I'm Kacy Paide of theinspiredoffice.com, and today I want to answer a very common question that I get. How long should we keep our notebooks? So I have been a professional organizer since 2001, focusing on offices and paper since 2008. So naturally, I come across a lot of notebooks with my clients. Notebooks of all fashion, highly sentimental journals versus really messy note-filled notebooks, notebooks that are full, notebooks that only have a couple of pages filled out and the rest are blank, beautiful notebooks that people buy and never use. You know the drill. So I'm going to teach you about notebooks through my own. And this is pretty much the only notebook I use. I use very rarely another notebook that is exclusively just for workshop notes. Like if I'm learning something online, or back in the day when we went to more face-to-face workshops, I have a notebook that I filled over the years just with kind of business building notes from those workshops. But day to day, I use one and only one notebook. This is always within arm's reach. It's always near my computer. And I've been doing this for years and years and years. So you can see this is at least the fourth notebook like it. The other day, I came across these three old notebooks. I actually thought I had already gotten rid of them, which was interesting. But there they sat. So I took about 15 minutes to thumb through them and ask myself if I really needed them. Fast forward, spoiler alert, I'm throwing all of these away. I'm recycling them. But a little bit about my process. I take about a year to a year and a half to use a notebook. And the way I use it is not for journaling. So my notebooks are not highly sentimental, but I put in them, like things to look up, names of people, books I want to look into, measurements of things. Like here I'm measuring a pillow in the house for a cover I wanted to order, the name of something I found online that I might want to go back to, the name of an artist who is coming up at a museum I like to go through. So these notes, and the way I've been doing this for all these years, are notes that you only really need reference to for hopefully a week or so, a couple months at the most. But I've been saving them since about 2015. So even though they're just utilitarian, they're somewhat sentimental because this, I think, is the oldest one. One of these dates back, this one, to 2015. I was married in 2016, so there are a lot of notes for planning my wedding. And though I'm a little sentimental about these, I don't need to keep them one day longer. So in order to let these go, I flipped through them. I have dog-eared a few pages that I want to Evernote, or things I want to look into that I never did, but I don't have more than 6 or 7 dog years of things I want to save or reference from the last 6 or 7 years. So my answer to you is how long to keep notebooks. It entirely depends. It depends on how functional they are for you, how much useful information they have, or how sentimental. So notebooks are different than journals. Some people like to keep journals forever. I'm not a journal keeper, so that makes sense. But if you, like me, keep these just day-to-day notebooks full of scribbles and ideas and short-lived resources, you don't need to keep them more than, in most cases, your current notebook. So right now, it's November. This notebook, my current one, dates back to March of this year. Par for the course. I think this will take about a year and a half to fill. And then when I go to buy a new one and replace this, I'll flip through this. I may keep a backlog of one notebook. I may want to keep this for a year into the next one. But all of these now can easily go, and they should. I'm going to find great joy in recycling them. Some of you may want to know where my notebooks are from, because clearly I love this one so much. I've bought it over and over again over the years. These are locally made here in DC. I will link below to Appointed, which is the small woman-owned company that makes these. I pay a little bit extra to have all of mine monogrammed. And you may see once you go online that these are not the world's cheapest notebooks. And the reason I choose something a little pricier of high quality is because that's what I need in order to use it. If I were just buying like a $3.99 notebook from Office Depot, I wouldn't want it to sit out, and I would probably, in cleaning up, want to put it away, and then it's not there when I need it, and I'm reaching for the nearest pad of paper or sticky note, and it explodes and becomes crazy. So when it's something beautiful, I want it to sit out because it needs to sit out all day long, and I respect it, and I want to fill it, and then I am buying one notebook every year and a half instead of, 5 or 6 crappy cheap notebooks in the meantime. So how long should we keep our notebooks? Just what is realistic for you? If it's not highly sentimental and if it's not chock full of useful information that you're going back to over and over again, you don't need to keep them. In many cases, they're just kind of landing pads for our thoughts and ideas, and it's something we don't refer back to once a couple of weeks have passed. So I am going down from 4 notebooks to 1. For some of you, you may want to sit and review them like I did. For others, you may know yourself, and if you do that, it will make you want to hang on to them. So you might not want to do that. You might just want to blindly throw them away. But this was a long time coming. I thought it would be a lot harder than it was. I think I've tried to do this in the last couple of years and I couldn't, but today I was able to. So I just really wanted to share with you the internal process that I have, because I know a lot of you have your own reasons for keeping notebooks and you worry that you're keeping them too long. So again, I'm Kacy Paide. My business is The Inspired Office. I'm based here in Silver Spring, Maryland. I travel nationwide. I of course work locally, and I have a virtual organizing offering as well. So check me out a little bit more at theinspiredoffice.com, and thanks for stopping by.